Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What if the greatest test wasn't about what you lost, but what you refused to lose? This is the story of a man whose suffering was so profound, so absolute, that it became a legend, a testament to patience that defied every whisper of despair. Prophet Ayyub, A.S., faced trials designed to shatter his spirit, yet his unwavering trust in Allah, SWT, revealed a secret strength hidden within the human soul. Before the trials, Ayyub, A.S., lived a life blessed with abundance. He possessed vast wealth, fertile lands, and a large, loving family. More importantly, he was renowned for his deep piety, his constant remembrance of Allah, SWT, and his generosity to the poor. His life was a beacon of prosperity and gratitude, a model of righteous living that inspired all who knew him. But this very blessing drew the envy of Shaytan. He watched Ayyub's, A.S., unwavering devotion and whispered to Allah, SWT, claiming that Ayyub's, A.S., faith was merely a product of his comfort. Take away his blessings, Shaytan challenged, and Ayyub, A.S., would surely abandon his Lord. Allah, SWT, knowing the truth of his servant's heart, granted Shaytan permission to test Ayyub, A.S., but with a strict limit, his soul was untouchable. The onslaught began. First, messengers arrived with devastating news. Ayyub's, A.S., vast lands were ravaged, his livestock destroyed, his crops burnt to ash. His immense wealth, accumulated over years of diligent work, vanished in a single, catastrophic blow. It was a loss that would cripple any ordinary man, bringing him to the brink of despair and ruin. Yet, Ayyub, A.S., did not falter. He stood firm, his heart filled with remembrance. He prostrated to Allah, SWT, acknowledging that everything belonged to him, and to him, everything would return. He praised Allah, SWT, declaring that his wealth was but a trust, and its removal was a divine decree he accepted with gratitude. His composure was unnerving to Shaytan. Then came a blow far more agonizing, the loss of his children. One by one, calamity struck, claiming the lives of his beloved sons and daughters. The joy of his home was extinguished, replaced by an unbearable silence. This was a pain deeper than any material loss, a wound that would tear at the very fabric of one's being, leaving an emptiness that echoed with grief. Again, Ayyub, A.S., turned to his Lord. He recognized that children were a gift, a blessing from Allah, SWT, and he who bestows, also takes back. His submission was absolute. He found solace in the divine wisdom, understanding that Allah, SWT, never burdens a soul beyond its capacity. His unwavering faith became a shield against the arrows of sorrow. Shaytan, increasingly frustrated, launched his final, most insidious attack, a debilitating illness. Ayyub, A.S., was afflicted with a severe malady that consumed his body, leaving him in constant pain and disfigurement. His skin withered, his strength faded, and his once vibrant health was replaced by a condition that repelled even those closest to him. The illness was so repulsive, so severe, that people began to shun him. His friends abandoned him, fearing contagion. His neighbors kept their distance. Ayyub, A.S., once a revered figure, found himself isolated, exiled to the outskirts of his village, with only the simplest shelter. The world, it seemed, had turned its back on him, leaving him to suffer alone. Years passed in this state of agonizing torment. His body wasted away, his pain constant, his isolation complete. Yet, through it all, Ayyub, A.S., uttered not a single word of complaint against his Creator. His tongue remained moist with the remembrance of Allah, SWT, his heart steadfast in gratitude. Shaytan watched, bewildered, as his most potent weapons failed. In this desolate landscape of suffering, one soul remained by his side, his devoted wife, Rama. She tended to him tirelessly, day and night, enduring hardship and ridicule for her loyalty. She worked menial jobs to provide sustenance, her faith a mirror to Ayyub's, A.S., own, a testament to true companionship and unwavering devotion. Shaytan, seeing his efforts against Ayyub as fail, turned his attention to Roma. He whispered doubt into her heart, reminding her of their past prosperity, of her husband's current state, tempting her to abandon hope and, more dangerously, to abandon Ayyub, and her faith. He sought to break the last thread of their resilience. But Roma, too, was a woman of immense faith. She rebuked Shaytan's insidious suggestions, reminding herself and Ayyub, of the countless years of blessings they had enjoyed. Her steadfastness was a pillar of strength, a quiet defiance against the overwhelming despair. Together, they faced the storm, their spirits unbroken. After long, arduous years, Roma, weakened by hunger and fatigue, suggested to Ayyub, that he pray to Allah, SWT, for relief. Not out of impatience, but out of compassion for his suffering. Ayyub, had endured for so long, fearing that any direct request for relief might imply a complaint against Allah's SWT decree. His humility was profound. Finally, Ayyub, raised his voice, not in anger or demand, but in a humble plea, acknowledging only his state and Allah's SWT boundless mercy. He invoked Allah's SWT name, not to ask for an end to his suffering directly, but to simply state his condition. This was a turning point, a culmination of his unwavering trust. His prayer, recorded in Surah Al-Anbiya, 21 hours 83 minutes, was, "Indeed, adversity has touched me, and you are the most merciful of the merciful." It was a pure expression of distress, coupled with absolute faith in the most merciful. This profound sincerity, this utter reliance on Allah, SWT alone, pierced the heavens, reaching the divine throne. The response was immediate and miraculous. Allah, SWT, commanded him, as stated in Surah Sad, 38:42, "Strike with your foot, this is a cool spring for washing and a drink." Ayyub, obeyed, and from the dry, barren earth, a spring of pure, gushing water erupted. It was a tangible sign of divine intervention, a mercy beyond comprehension. Ayyub, drank from the miraculous spring and bathed in its cool, refreshing waters. With every drop, his body was cleansed, healed, and invigorated. The years of illness, pain, and disfigurement vanished as if they had never been. He was restored to perfect health, stronger and more vibrant than before, a living miracle for all to witness. Not only was his health restored, but Allah, SWT, also returned his family and his wealth, doubling his previous blessings. His children were brought back to him, and his lands became more fertile, his livestock more numerous. It was a complete restoration, a profound reward for his boundless patience and unwavering trust in Allah, SWT, through the darkest of times. Ayyub's story is a timeless lesson in patience, perseverance, and absolute reliance on Allah, SWT. He teaches us that true faith is tested not in comfort, but in adversity. His suffering was immense, but his reward was even greater, proving Shaytan's challenge utterly baseless. It was the patience that outlasted Shaytan. His life exemplifies that even when every worldly blessing is stripped away, the inner peace derived from faith and submission remains. Ayyub, showed humanity that trials are not punishments, but opportunities for spiritual growth, chances to draw closer to the divine, and to witness the boundless mercy of Allah, SWT. Shaytan's plot to make Ayyub, lose faith utterly failed. Instead, Ayyub's, story became a beacon, illuminating the path for all who face hardship. It is a reminder that no matter how deep the valley of despair, the rope of Allah, SWT, is always within reach, and His mercy encompasses all things. This extraordinary narrative, preserved in the Quran, offers solace and strength to every believer. It teaches us that patience is not passive waiting, but an active, enduring trust in divine wisdom. Ayyub, demonstrated that true richness lies not in possessions, but in the unwavering connection to our Creator. In our own lives, when trials seem overwhelming and hope flickers, remember Ayyub, A.S. Remember his patience, his humility, and his absolute certainty in the mercy of Allah, SWT. Let his story be a guiding light, reminding us that with every hardship comes ease, and that after every test of patience, comes a glorious reward. If this story moved your heart, please express your appreciation by liking this video to help our channel reach more brothers and sisters seeking inspiration and truth. Subscribe to Sacred Ayat for more cinematic Quranic stories that illuminate the path of faith. Share this video with someone who would be moved by Ayyub's, A.S., incredible patience. Consider it a sadaqah yariyah, an ongoing charity. And in the comments below, let us know which story from the Quran you would like us to explore next. Your engagement helps us continue to produce meaningful content for our community. May Allah, SWT, bless you and grant you patience in your own trials. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.